The 13th point, or the 13th point. And that is that the house should be filled up with the recitation of the Quran. When the children wake up and they're making preparations to go to the school in the morning, let them wake up with the recitation of the Quran. So he's getting up, he's putting on his clothes, and he's listening to the Quran. And when he comes back from school, the Quran is also playing. It's playing on the computer, or it's playing on the iPhone, it's playing on the radio. Also, the husband, when he comes from the work, he comes from work and he comes home. Maybe he comes home and he has pressure in his head because of the job. Or maybe he had a fight, an argument with someone who's outside. When he comes home, he hears the Quran. And one of the famous reciters, like a Minshawi or some other famous reciter, he hears that recitation. The Sheikh mentioned one of these reciters. He comes home and he hears those reciters reciting the Quran. And then he starts to feel tranquil and easy. That stuff, that pressure that he was feeling, it leaves him. So the house, it becomes a house that's full up with the remembrance of Allah. And Allah Ta'ala, as a result of that, He sends down the sakina. And before the children go to sleep, and also you put the Quran for the little kid before he goes to sleep, and so he hears the Quran with a light voice, not the volume up very loud. And when you do this, the child feels comfortable and relaxed. And this also at the same time will help him to memorize the Quran. The Sheikh said, try it. Try and see what happens when the house is filled with the recitation of the Quran. Just remember it 3 times, do it. In the morning when they go to school, when the children and the husband come to the house, and when the children go to sleep. See how the tranquility comes to the bait, to the house, and how the problems are reduced. Because the malaika are going to be in that house. Because the shaitan, he runs from the house where Surah Al-Baqarah is being read. And all praises are due to Allah. All praises are due to Allah.
Jazakumullah khair for the Sheikh for those 13 great ingredients to a happy marriage. We're going to straight away go into Q&A. If any sisters have any questions, please send them up. I've already received 3 or 4 already, and 2 of them have been answered whilst the lecture has been going on.
Afra, before Salat, there were 2 people who were asking this question. They wanted the Sheikh to explain what is the proper way of getting the divorce. What is the proper way of getting the divorce? Because he mentioned during the talk about the 3 minces of the lady. So can he explain to us what is the proper way if a man wants to divorce his wife? The Sheikh said he hopes this is not a question that's being questioned so that he could divorce his wife. The way that you divorce properly is that after the lady, she becomes pure from her period.
قبل أن يجامعها أول جماع في طهرها.
Before, once she becomes pure without having any relationships with her.
أي لو أنها حاضر. أي لو أنها حاضر.
Like she had her period.
ثم طهرت.
And then she became clean.
ولم يجامعها إلى الآن.
And he didn't have relationships with her yet.
فيجوز له أن يطلقها.
At this time, he could divorce her.
متى ما جامعها أول جماع في طهرها.
But if he had relationships with her while she was pure,
أول جماع بعد أول جماع لا يجوز له أن يطلقها.
then he shouldn't divorce her at that time.
إلى أن يأتي الطهر الجديد.
He should wait until her period comes again and then she becomes clean, and then at that time if he wanted to divorce her.
قبل أن يجامعها في الطهر الجديد.
Before he has relations in the new period.
ولا يكون كذلك في حالة شدة غضب.
And shouldn't be when he's really extraordinarily upset and angry.
عندما يكون العقل قد أغلق عليه بسببه.
When his brain, intellect becomes closed as a result of the effect and the impact of the anger upon him.
Okay, there's a question here. Is it compulsory for one of the sons who is married with a family of his own to live with his parents, e.g. eldest or youngest son?
هل الواجب على الزوج إذا تزوج أن يسكن مع والديه مع امرأته؟ هل هذا واجب عليه؟
أخواني في الحقيقة عندنا نحن في الكويت من أكبر أسباب الطلاق.
The Sheikh said, "Wallahi, akhwani, with us in Kuwait, one of the biggest reasons why divorce takes place
أن يسكن الرجل مع زوجته في بيت أبيه وفي بيت أمه.
is when the husband lives with his wife in the home of his mother and father.
لأنهما سيتشاجران مع الزوجة لا سيما الأم.
Because they're going to always fight with many times they're going to fight with the wife, especially the mother.
وكذلك أخوات.
And also his sisters are going to fight with his wife.
ولذلك من أفضل الأحوال إذا تزوج الرجل أن يخرج لزوجته خارج البيت.
So from the best affairs, if a man gets married, is that he goes and he finds a place to live on his own with his wife.
وإلا فليتوقع الطلاق في أسرع وقت.
He said, but if you live with your parents, then you can expect, sometimes you can expect that you're going to get divorced quickly.
في الحقيقة في هذا البحث الذي قمت به وذكرته لكم 70% إلى 80% الطلاق يقع في حال سكن الزوج معه.
The Sheikh said in that research that he talked about to you today, he found that like 70% of the people got divorced, they got divorced as a result of living with the in-laws.
فإذا يستطيع الخروج من البيت فليسعى بالخروج من البيت في أسرع وقت ممكن.
So if the guy, the husband has the ability to get out of that house and get his own place, then he has to do it as quick as possible. Get your own spot.
ولا يلوم زوجته بعد ذلك إذا حصلت مشاجرات معه.
نعم.
إذا سكن في بيته في بيت أهله لا يلوم زوجته إذا ما حصلت مشاجرات بينه وبين أمه وأخواته.
He said also in advising the community, if there is something that does happen between his family and his wife, then he shouldn't like be criticizing and be against his wife when these things happen between her and the sisters, for example.
أن يتحمل دفع الأمور المالية أفضل من أن يتحمل فراق الزوجة وتفرق الأبناء.
So it's better for him to spend the money that he's going to have to spend getting his own house than paying the price of what's going to happen from all the problems that transpire when he's living with his in-laws, with his relatives.
The next question. What should you do if your parents want you to marry someone from overseas, e.g. Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, yet they do not know this person and neither do you? What would your advice be in regards to this situation?
ماذا على الإنسان لو أراد والداه أن يتزوج الإنسان من بلدهم لا معرفة لهم عن هذا الإنسان؟ ماذا يعني على الولد؟
هذا يدخل في مسألة بر الوالدين.
This issue is connected to obeying and respecting the parents.
لابد أن نعرف أن بر الوالدين ينقسم إلى قسمين.
We have to know that respecting the parents, obeying the parents, it has two categories.
بر واجب وبر مستحب.
One is wajib, you have to obey them, and one which is highly recommended.
أما البر الواجب فهو أن يطيع الوالدين.
As for the one that is wajib, it was when the man or the lady listens to the parents.
وهو أنه إذا لم يطعهما هما يتضرران من عدم إطاعته لهما.
It is the one that's wajib. is the one that if he doesn't obey them and listen to them, they're going to be harmed in a negative way as a result of him not obeying them. So it's wajib to obey them because they're going to get hurt.
مثال ذلك أن تكون الأم محتاجة الآن لابنها.
An example of that is that the mother is in need of her son.
ليذهب بها إلى المستشفى.
To take her to the hospital.
ولكنه رفض هذا.
But he said, no, I'm not doing it.
ولم يكن مضطرا لهذا الرفض.
And he refuses to obey his mother and taking her to the hospital.
ولم يكن له عذر قوي في الامتناع.
And he doesn't have any legitimate reason for not taking her.
فهذا يعتبر قد عقل.
So this individual, he has disobeyed his parent.
لكن لو قالت له الوالد طلق هذه الزوجة.
But if the father said, divorce this girl.
ولا سنغضب عليه.
And if you don't divorce her, we're going to be angry with you.
لا علاقة لزوجته بهذا.
And he says, my wife doesn't have anything to do with what they're talking about.
وهي لم تفعل كما يقال الأمور التي تستحق أن تقوم.
And she didn't do anything for me to divorce her.